Hello and welcome to another Jimbo's driveway. Again, as you can see, we're not on my driveway this time. We've actually come down to JC Detailing in Sittingbourne, who are going to be looking after the car for the next week and doing some detailing work on the paintwork and the chrome to see if we can improve it and make it look a little bit less dull than it is at the moment. We're off to the XJS 45th anniversary at the British Motor Museum in a couple of weeks, so I'd like to have the car looking nice for that. As it's turned out, this year's been a bit of a crazy one for everyone. I was intending to get out to lots of different things over the summer and that's not really happened. I haven't been anywhere, so it'll be great to actually be able to take the car to a show or an event, and it's important that it looks the part when it gets there. I will get John from JC Detailing on the camera. He's going to go through a couple of items on the list of what we're going to do to get this car looking a bit better, and then the next part of this video we'll come back and see what it looks like in a week's time. So this is John. John runs JC Detailing down in Sittingbourne. He's going to be looking after the car for the week and doing the work. He's already had a look over the paintwork. So what is your assessment so far?
So generally the paintwork's in good condition. Being black, your worst enemy is going to be swirl marks, and as you can see from the panels that we've been round, there are some swirl marks on most of the panels.
Yeah.
We've also got some marring as well on one of the driver's door on that side.
I did know marring's a new one on me. It's not something I've heard of before. What is marring, John?
So marring is where somebody's taken the machine polisher to the car, maybe used too harsh a compound or too harsh a pad, and taken, it almost looks like someone's taken some of the paint with it and gives it almost like a mirror shimmer to it.
Yeah.
Where swirl marks, you get the swirl mark effect. Marring sort of looks like the paint's been dragged across the car slightly.
Yeah. And you can definitely see that on the driver's side, because I've seen that whenever it's in harsh sun. I try and take a photo. I wondered what that was.
Sunlight is everyone's worst nightmare, because in the shade, if we were to look at the car now, it generally looks quite good. Reflections are looking okay.
Yeah.
And then in direct sunlight, you've got big issues with swirl marks, and they just stand out straight away. Mm-hmm. But using various compounds and polishes, that should come up no problem at all. You've then got obviously the chrome on the front and the back.
Yeah.
A few little rust spots that we should be able to bring up nicely. And I think on the rear quarter we've just got a few deeper scratches that may just take a more harsher compound to try and to flatten those back. Cool.
So bearing in mind, like I said, there's a few bits of bodywork I'm going to try and get done over the winter. So we're not going to go really to town on the products and what we're doing. What we're trying to achieve really is to get this looking as good as we can get it for a reasonable budget, and it's going to last a few months and look good. So talk me sort of through the products you'd use and the processes that you're going to go through.
So we've got obviously various sections of the car you take at various times. So we've got the wheels, which again we spoke about previously. They're not going to be a big part of it. Obviously they'll be cleaned and protected and sealed, but the paintwork, the main thing is to bear in mind is that you don't take a wash mitt to it straight away. You need to get all the dust off the car and really make sure that everything's clean off the paint, ready for that first contact wash. So first stage really is to go over with a citrus pre-wash, which will get rid of most of the bugs and any sort of stuck on grime on the top. Then a nice snow foam, which will leave on for sort of 10 to 15 minutes, and that will really give it a chance to sort of suck into the dried on dirt and get all that off as well. Then it will finally be time to actually get a contact wash mitt on there to get everything off, because the main point is where you've got dust on the car at the moment, if we were to take a wash mitt to that straight away, you're just creating more and more swirl marks and not getting to the bottom of the issue.
Okay, probably not been helped by my occasional visit to the local hand car wash over the last couple of months. Since I've had this car, which is getting on for almost a year now, obviously we had a lot more plans to do things like this earlier on in the year, but it hasn't panned out. It's had the odd wash on the drive at home and the odd wash at the car wash, and that's it. So it's going to be really good to see how this car comes up once it's had some proper love and attention poured over the bodywork. So anything else I need to think about, consider anything else you've noticed and you want to recommend or advise?
In terms of paint bodywork condition, it's not too bad. I guess we just need to talk about the protection that you get after once the paintwork's been corrected and the swirl marks have been removed. You've then got a fair few options of whether you use an old-fashioned like Canuba wax, which takes a longer to cure, but gives great results for sort of medium term, sort of 3 to 9, maybe even a year, depending on what products you use. Yeah. New to the market at the moment, you've sort of got ceramic spray sealants, which are nice, quick and easy, spray on, wash off, which can last again sort of 6 to 9 months. Okay. You then go sort of upper tier to the ceramic coatings, which you do have to be quite careful with because they cure quite quickly. So if the paintwork isn't prepared correctly and the coating cures on top, you're then sort of quite stuck in terms of what you do after that. But that protection can last anywhere from sort of a year to 7 years, depending on the product that you get.
Okay, wonderful. Right, so I'm going to leave the car here in John's trusted care, and we'll come back in a week's time. We'll have another look around the car, see what it looks like then, and yeah, then it'll be a chance to actually take it to an event, which be nice to do in a few weeks' time. So that's all for now, although we'll be back in just a couple of seconds. That's where I'm going to wrap it up today, and when we come back we're going to see what this car looks like. Hello, welcome back. We're back to JC Detailing, and today I'm picking up the Jag. So we're going to see all the hard work that John's put into it, and I'm very excited to see what it's going to look like. John, before we open the door, yep, and I'll get to see it, because you've only sent me a couple of teasers, you've been very good like that, and also a bit mean. What's it been like?
So initially when you first came down, we were only going to do a single stage, yep, detail.
Which is all I'd authorised, by the way, so now I'm going to find out. Anyway, carry on.
So yeah, the single stage, there's always a test patch that you do to see what best products react best to the paint, what pads to use. Yeah. And after the initial first stage and a few trial products, there was a lot of underlying paint defects underneath the initial swirling and sort of greyness of the
we
of the paint.
Couldn't possibly leave those, could we, John? They would have
not at all.
It would have been criminal.
Not at all.
So I didn't really have an option.
Not at all. The only option was to go full hog.
Full hog.
That's it, and get the full work and all the paint correction done. What you could have done, the single stage would have got out sort of 50% of the defects, yeah, and it would have brought the gloss back up. Yep. But as soon as the sun hit the paintwork, you're going to be left with the deeper scratches, and it will look shiny, but just won't look as good as it could do.
Okay. Right. Well, you can't keep me in suspense anymore.
Shall we have a look?
I'm dying to see it. Shall we have a look?
Okay.
Okay,
right,
let's do it. Wow. That is unbelievable. I cannot believe that's the same paint. I never really thought it did it justice. In the videos and in photos, the car always looked relatively clean and alright, but I can absolutely say from seeing this and feeling it, that is like a different car.
So I think we've probably got to a point of about 90% completely defect free.
Yeah.
There's obviously areas where over time people have obviously been a bit rough with a sponge, yeah, and taken the paint a bit deeper than what it should have done.
Might have been me.
Could have been you. Wash mitt in the future.
Yeah, I've got one of those. I should use it really. Yeah.
And around the edges where maybe someone was doing a bit of the chrome work, there's a bit of deeper scratches, but as a whole it's come up really well. So when we hopefully get it out in the sun, we can see.
Right, shall we do that next? Shall we roll, because it's a bit tight in the garage, so what we're going to do is we're going to get the car out, and then we'll have a proper look around it and finish it up.
Sounds good.
Excellent. Right, let's get on with it. So I've got the car out and had a good look around it now, and I think it's fair to say I'm very pleased. It's somewhat an understatement. The job John has done on this paintwork is phenomenal. I'm over the moon with it. Tell me, John, what was it? What particular challenges did you have doing this, or what did you enjoy doing about it? Tell us a little bit more about the job itself.
So I think because it's not metallic paint, it's just a flat black.
Yeah.
As the panel suggests on the bonnet, the colour is black.
Yes, it's just black. Yes.
So the hardest bit is trying to get a nice gloss and a deep shine from a completely flat paint.
Yeah.
That just takes time with the polishing and the paintwork prep that you put in beforehand. But I think that the biggest challenge was the bonnet.
The bonnet.
Simply because of the size.
There is a lot of bonnet on this car. Yeah. These days, I don't think there is a car made that has quite as much bonnet as this does. But yeah, so that gave you something to work on.
Yeah, big time. I mean, you normally take it section and section at a time. So you do the wings, then the doors.
Yeah.
And normally you've got a certain amount of time that you spend on each one. But being so big, it was quite, at times, felt like you were polishing for hours and hours and hours just to get everything working your way up in sections, because it's such a big panel you can lose track of where you are.
Yep. And did you manage to get out all the scratches that you hoped? Because you did say there was some quite deep scratches. Was there anything you wasn't able to get out, or anything that was
the passenger side door?
Yeah.
Like we spoke about on the first time we dropped it off, there were some deep scratches on there that we managed to sort of make look a lot better.
Yeah.
But obviously couldn't get out completely. And I know you mentioned about respraying the door at some point.
At
anyway.
some stage, I will take it to the body shop, because there are a few bits that need doing, but I didn't want to do that too soon and too urgently. So I was really looking to see what we could do with the paint to make it better. It's probably going to be covered up for the most of the winter, but then next year I may start looking to get some of those things done. So I just wanted to look as nice as it could. I wanted to use this as to see how good we could get the paintwork before I start considering taking it to the body shop, stuff like that. And I think it's come up amazing.
I think we're probably at the 85-90% defect free level. I mean, there's always defects that are going to remain, because obviously polishing you can only go so far.
Yeah.
And because I did spend so much time on the bonnet, obviously you have to be careful that certain car paints are quite soft, so the more polishing you do, the more damage you're actually doing to the car.
Yeah.
So obviously only taking it so far is quite key, because you don't want to cause any more damage than what you need to.
Okay. So are you longing to do some more detailing on XJS's, or has this made you think, I never want to see another one of these bonnets as long as I live?
As long as I can do the rest of the car, not the bonnet, that'd be great.
All right. Well, I promise you that.
No, of course, yeah. I mean, being not the age of the car that it is, the transformations that you get are a lot more dramatic.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do new car details, there is a big difference. But what you see is what you get after sort of a week's worth of work. The change is quite dramatic.
I mean, this car underwent significant restoration and a repaint, sort of 15 odd years ago, and I don't think it's ever seen a proper polish since. It's only ever done a few thousand miles since then. So I think this is really nice to get it up to this stand, and I'm really looking forward to taking it to the XJS 45th anniversary, which is coming up this Saturday, and see what the reaction is of the people up there.
Yeah, fingers crossed it'll stand out a bit more now.
Well, thank you so much for all the work you've done on it. We're going to wrap the video up there. If you're in the sort of Sittingbourne area at all, and you've got a car that needs a bit of love and affection to the paintwork, then you should certainly look up John at JC Detailing. I'm going to put a link to his Facebook page down below. If you've enjoyed this video, please do like and share it, and don't forget to subscribe. And I know I keep saying this, but there will be some more videos along very soon. Bye bye.